this geography and market. And what I want to ask you to begin with is, a lot of the emerging markets can now bypass a lot of the old legacy factors that affect cinemas, specifically in North America and Western Europe. What are the things that emerging market cinemas can do, or how can they benefit really from mistakes or things that have been done differently in more mature markets? Starting with you, Mark.
Well, all I was going to say, thank you. All I was going to say was that obviously everyone's made mistakes over the last 20 years as technology's grown, so you might as well benefit from the knowledge of those that we've gained in that time. I think one really good example was picked up in the last session of mine, I think, where we talk about payment and security in particular in Nigeria. Payment methods nowadays are so easy and convenient, in particular markets. You don't want to be holding on to lots of cash, and it's not just Nigeria. It could be a bad part of Glasgow. So you do have to think about these things, and I think technology really helps make that whole convenience, and particularly the mobile convenience, which makes more customers buy, makes it easy, and obviously saves bother with having too many people at the box office and all that sort of thing. So it's a win-win-win for everybody.
Okay. Claudia?
Yeah, maybe one example I want to give is, and we see that with the partners that we work with in the emerging market, is the whole concept, skipping the whole concept of VPF, right? You no longer are tied to having one movie per screen, but all of a sudden you get the full benefits of digital. And that means you can play movies at any time, you can change movies at any time on every screen. You get digital signage automatically at your door, right? So a lot of the challenges that we have seen, going back 10 years in this industry, when we started, 35mm was still the king. So we actually had to put brakes in the system to not change more than 2 movies per screen, because somebody would have to carry the rails up and down the stairs, That, in this day and age, is no longer the case. So I would like to see more of the emerging markets, realizing that, and then also exploring that kind of dynamic scheduling that I was talking about, right? The schedule on Saturday needs to be different than the schedule on Monday. If I'm an old grandpa wanting to see a movie on Tuesday morning, I should be able to have that sort of opportunities. And I think that's where one of the things that we try to help a lot of our customers to realize.
Right. So I actually have a completely different view. I believe that, and it's not my belief, I've seen it because I've worked with cinemas in India, then in the Middle East, and now in the US, in Europe, and South Africa, in Africa. I actually believe the bell curve of innovation in cinema guest experience and cinema technology starts in Asia and completely loses its way across the Atlantic. There is zero innovation in the Western world. Please don't kid yourself if you think you want to learn from the Western world as an emerging market. You have way better examples in the emerging market itself. Like what I told you about Saudi Arabia, about how online ticketing was launched straight out of the bat without even a box office being in place, and that has worked. And I don't know, and I think you were telling me that Walks had a similar experience as well, because they're in Saudi Arabia as well. F&B, they have a ridiculous amount of concessions being sold online. So I think the biggest mistake that an emerging market cinema would do would be to try and look at the West, which is what we tend to conventionally do all the time. But there's enough and more examples of real innovation that's been done in markets like yours that you're just better off, literally, as Kenny and me were discussing, that he doesn't understand why Nigeria can't just copy the India model, because it literally works. It works really well. So sometimes you don't need to always reinvent the wheel.
Picking up on that point, I think that's something which I think you shared on LinkedIn or Twitter in India about cinema on demand, and the fact that there are now operators of ways that you can select your films, or if there's enough of you and you want to watch a particular film, even if it's not conventionally distributed, there are now platforms in India where you can jointly all sign up for it, and if enough 20 of you sign up for it on Wednesday afternoon, then PVR will program that film for you. That's still more than what they would get for the regular film that they were showing.
That's true. Although they'd like you to believe that they're going to play the movie that everyone voted for, in truth it's what the distributor gave you to play. But no, the platform does exist. It's called Kakao. It is something that we actually blueprinted in 2012 for PVR. We call it Movie on Demand. And it's actually making its way now through Kuwait. That's where I think Amit is planning to roll that out next, where it is coming out. But no, Movie on Demand actually makes cinema going experience a lot more like Netflix. So like you were mentioning, so try and blur that line. Yeah.
We want to have time for questions, so if there's anything, if you have a question or if you have a comment, if you have an observation, or if you want to contradict anything they've said, put up your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. If not, I'm going to keep throwing questions at them. We have a question there.
Catherine.
Can we get a microphone over there, please, lady?
Good evening.
It should be working. Try it again.
Hello. Good evening, audience and the resource persons. Please, I want to correct an impression on Nigeria. Sorry, my name is Catherine from Nigeria. I want to correct an impression in Nigeria about, first of all, the time for cinemas. Now, in the cities, I think the time is until 10 p.m. or even 12 a.m. In the remote villages, they go to sleep by 8 p.m. So, of course, the cinema time can be adjusted to end by 7 p.m. So the time factor is not an issue. That's one. And then the question of cash, keeping cash for the cinema goers when they pay, that too is not a problem, is not an issue anymore. In Nigeria, virtually all the people put their monies in the bank. And virtually all those that have bank accounts also have the credit card. The bank insists that they get a credit card. As soon as you open an account, they insist that you get a credit card. So your money is loaded on this credit card. And in the villages, in my village is a remote village in Benue State. But then I send money home. There are some people that have what they call the POS. Ebele, what is POS?
Point of sale.
Pardon? Point of service, yes. They're connected to banks. And so when you send money home, this point of service, those operating it, they give to your parents or friends or anybody the amount of money that you send. And when they want to send money from home to anywhere, they use this point of service for their transactions. So this same point of service can also be used by the film goers, the cinema goers. They can pay through the point of service so that whoever owns the cinema does not have to carry cash anymore. So that's not an issue in Nigeria anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Madam, I think next year I will ask the organisers for you to join us on the panel because those are excellent contributions. Thank you very much. But this really ties into Parish's point, really, that we shouldn't look to the West America, we should look east and south, obviously, to see innovation. But I want to ask Claudia and Malcolm, really, because you see the data flowing in. Where do you see spikes around the world in things like internet booking? Obviously, it's not in the US, it's not even in Western Europe. What are kind of the leading markets for some of this technology adoption?
Well, I can't talk to some of the Asian markets or India side of things, but I mean, you're right. The US market is remarkably low. They have a very different profile they like to use a lot of aggregators. So it's split between like Fandango, movie tickets, and the Sunrings. I mean, we take the view that you should try and drive as much as you can online, and that drives everything we do in terms of the websites we build, the apps we build, etc. Try and make it as useful as possible. And as Harish said, you want to make it easy to do everything, including picking up a movie or a lift or whatever. But the UK is a little bit ahead of the States. I actually agree with Harish in the sense that we should learn from the States and the West. We've been doing this for a while, and every new cinema that's open is more digital than the last cinema, and is more likely to have a very high take-up of online booking. So put your focus in that. And I think a lot of people, especially in America, have probably not been quite so quick to invest in technology, whereas in the emerging markets, I think technology is the bedrock of everything.
I think the point I wanted to make is that I think, you know, in the Western world, there's a transformation now in terms of management style, management people, management knowledge. I know countless examples of CEOs of cinema operators in the Western world, like Germany, Netherlands, Spain, that are being replaced with people from other industries, right? So I remember talking with a CEO in Germany, and he comes from a coffee shop, running 1,500 coffee shops all over Germany. And he comes to the cinema world and says, where's my data? Where are my tools? Where are my forecasting, sales tools? I have nothing, right? And I used to go to my work and I could log in any of the 1,500 coffee shops and I can see what the sales forecast for that day is going to be. And in cinema, when you know your moviegoer, you know who's coming to your cinemas, I have zero data, right? So this management skills and this management talent is coming on board and demanding these sort of tools, right? So I think to Harish's point, yes, Western world has not been an example so far. I think they're waking up to that.
I'm going to make some hands go up in the air, so I'm going to ask a question of you, the audience. So when you book a ticket to go to the cinema, and I hope you all do book tickets and go to the cinema, put your hand up if you primarily book them on your mobile phone. So just by show hands, roughly how many? Okay. How many of you book it at the box office in the cinema? Slightly less. And how many book it let your husband or wife or kids do it for you? Okay, you're capable of putting your hands up in the air. If you have a question or comment, let's get back to that and make yourselves part of the conversation here. We still have a bit of time for a couple more questions. But what I want to ask you is, in terms of the topic here of putting all the pieces together, are there any obvious bottlenecks that we should be addressing? Are there silos we need to be breaking down? Are there mindsets we need to be changing? Could you each maybe identify one thing or a cluster of issues that you would like to see addressed?
That's a different thing. I mean, there's so many pieces in the jigsaw. There's offline pieces, there's your point of sale, there's where you get your movie data from, and there's a lot of human interaction as well. So if a manager of a cinema anywhere in the world doesn't put the right showtimes in, for example, then the wrong showtimes will appear on Google. In terms of tying it all together, I think that's you want to be from a technology supplier's perspective, we're trying to be as agnostic as we possibly can, so that we can see the customer and say, well, I want to use this partner over here, this partner over here. How do you pull that all together? But obviously that's the challenge. That is the challenge. I suppose we like to think we've got a solution that will allow that to happen very seamlessly. But there's a lot of work involved with that, and there's some expenses involved with that. So maybe for an emerging markets solution, you probably want to have more of a box product initially until you start developing an audience, start developing the revenue. So I'd probably say it's the multiple sources of data.
Harish, did I guess number one problem? They're not working with you yet.
I think this ocean is large enough for two sharks to swim in, so it's fine. But I think that's where I would say we've got to start looking west. Because I think the most chronic problem that I think I see in cinemas in the emerging markets is the fact that the employees are just not empowered enough. And by employees, I even mean people at the VP levels, right? They're just not empowered enough, and most people we've noticed working just owner downwards are literally working every day to save their lives. Every decision, every piece of communication, anything they're thinking is only with the intent of securing their jobs. However, that is not the case in the West. We've noticed that people in the West are a lot more, I'd say, professional is not the right word, but in the case of what I'm saying, that's what makes sense. People there understand that this is a professional decision, it's to the best interest of the company, and we've got to make that decision, and vendors respect that as well. That's not the case in emerging markets. So for the new upcoming markets, please empower the downwards and make sure that they're free to make mistakes, so that the company only gets stronger.
Lavi?
Yeah, I think one example I want to give is We're working with a lot of in-theater dining exhibitors in the US that want to serve food inside the auditorium, right? When working with them, we realized that one of the challenges they have is finding the right skill and the right people for that, right? And you don't need film lovers, you need good managers. So they're going out and hiring restaurant managers. They're going out and hiring people that know and have that experience, and they want to leave the film, the scheduling, the showtimes, decisions in the head office, right? So that disconnect between the cinema and the head office and driving the right KPIs, and driving to understand how do I optimize every single operation of my business, how does my cinema compare to another cinema of similar size in my circuit, these kind of things they lack. And I think in the emerging market there's an opportunity to actually start with a clean set of tools that empower those people to do that exactly right from day one and learn from the mistakes of other people.
Thank you. Last chance, any final questions, observations, comments? If not, we're actually going to wrap it almost on time because we're going to give you your coffee break and then ask you to be back here punctually at 4 o'clock, which is when we kick off the Saudi Arabia session, which I'm sure none of you will want to miss. So thank you very much to my panelists for the stellar contributions. With a round of applause. Enjoy the networking coffee break. Please be back here at 4 o'clock.